Okay, have you ever felt um, really adrift? Like life's just delivered this knockout blow and, well, getting back up seems impossible.
Yeah, that feeling of being completely floored.
Exactly. If that resonates with you, you're definitely in the right place. Because
Right.
today, we're doing a deep dive into something incredible, our human capacity to rebuild ourselves from the ground up.
Hmm.
We've gone through some really powerful source material on this, including some profound insights from a speech by Munibo Mazari. Her own story is just, wow, a real testament to resilience.
Absolutely inspiring.
So our mission today is basically to pull out the most important nuggets of wisdom from all this. We want to show you how rebuilding isn't just, fixing what's broken.
Right. It's more than patching things up.
It's about transforming, becoming stronger, more authentic, more you than maybe you ever were before,
Yeah, it's like taking those pieces, even the shattered ones.
and creating something, well, beautiful, with intention, with courage.
And it's a journey that really reveals your own inner strength, doesn't it?
Mm.
What the sources really emphasize is that at its core, this whole process, it isn't just reacting to stuff.
No,
No, it's about reclaiming your agency. It's about shaping your own story, no matter what you've been through.
shaping your own story. I love that. And okay, so the first critical step, according to these sources, it seems to be taking ownership of your past, but crucially, without letting it define who you are right now.
Exactly. That distinction is key.
The source material is really strong on this. It basically says your past is just that past. It's like a collection of moments.
Yeah, like a river flowing away.
Right.
Each one passing by.
Right, a river that flows into the distance.
Right.
It's shaped you, for sure, influenced things, but it doesn't have the power to control today or
Oh.
tomorrow.
Hmm. But it feels like it does sometimes, doesn't it?
Oh, totally. It's so natural to feel like past pain or regret has this like unbreakable grip, like chains you can't see but definitely feel.
And this is where Muniba Mazari's perspective is so powerful. She talked about her own experience where the chains weren't just emotional, they were physical after her accident.
Right. Debilitating.
Yeah. But she realized her real prison wasn't the wheelchair. It was her mindset.
Wow.
And the source material echoes this so strongly. It says those chains are not real. They're only as strong as you allow them to be.
So it's not about pretending the past didn't happen?
Not at all. It's acknowledging it, understanding it's a part of your story, but not the whole story.
That's such a vital difference. It means you hold the power. You can rewrite the narrative.
Really?
Use those hard lessons not as anchors,
But it's fuel.
exactly, as fuel to move forward. But okay, what about mistakes? That's a big part of the past for many people. How do we handle those?
Well, the sources are incredibly clear here. They state it flat out. You are not your mistakes.
Hmm.
Now, this isn't about dodging responsibility. It's
Right.
taking responsibility for your actions, yeah, but not letting them become this permanent stain of shame holding you back. And the crucial part, forgiving yourself. When you can genuinely offer yourself that grace, you free yourself. You lift that massive weight of guilt and shame.
That makes sense.
Your future isn't just some echo of the past. It's this, like, dynamic thing you weave with the choices you make now every single day.
Right.
The source says, you're the author of your own story and the pen is in your hands. That's incredibly empowering, isn't it?
It really is. Reclaiming that pen, though, it can feel tough, especially when your current reality feels, well, messy.
Yeah.
And that brings us right to the next step, which is often maybe the hardest, facing your reality. Genuinely.
Mm-hmm. The brutal honesty part.
Yeah. Looking right at where you are now with all the imperfections, failures, and broken pieces. And the sources insist this isn't about beating yourself up.
No, not at all.
It's acknowledging your current situation without shame or denial. Only when you accept it, truly accept it, can you actually start to change it. Why is that so hard for us?
Well, it's human nature, isn't it? To avoid pain, discomfort. So yeah, many of us spend so much time running away from our reality.
Distractions, rationalization.
Exactly. Anything but facing it. But, like the source says, the truth doesn't go away just because we avoid it. Facing reality means seeing the pain, the failure, the unhappiness as temporary,
Not permanent.
not permanent destinations. They're states that can be changed with the right actions, mindset, and support. It's an active acceptance, you see, not just giving up.
Okay, active acceptance. I like that. And the sources also nail a big barrier here, this fantasy of perfection.
That's huge.
Society, social media, it all pushes this idea that if you're not meeting some impossible standard, you're failing. But the sources say, look, Life isn't about perfection. It's about growth, learning, and evolving.
Precisely. It's about the journey, the process.
Right.
And letting go of that perfection myth allows you to accept the truth that you're allowed to grow at your own pace. It takes the pressure off needing to be ready or perfect before you even start.
Yeah, because there's never a perfect time, is there?
Never. You can always take imperfect steps toward healing and progress. You know, Muniba Mazari, after her accident, she couldn't wait for some perfect moment to heal. She had to start from intense imperfection. That shows us that progress, any progress, is the real win.
That's a really powerful example.
And building right on that, on confronting reality, the sources highlight something vital that often gets twisted, seen as weakness, and that's accepting help.
Ah, yeah. The go it alone mentality.
Exactly. We often think strength means doing everything ourselves, but the sources are clear. Seeking help is actually a sign of strength.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. No one is meant to go through life alone. We are social beings. Asking for help when you need it. It's not failing. It's one of those powerful tools you have for rebuilding.
That's a big shift in perspective, and help can look like a lot of different things, right?
Absolutely. It could be a conversation with a friend, maybe seeking guidance from a mentor, or even, professional help like therapy or counseling.
And the source specifically says,
It says there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's one of the bravest things you can do.
so what's the deeper benefit there? Beyond just getting advice, I mean.
Well, it's about vulnerability. It's
Yeah.
about giving yourself the permission to be vulnerable.
Mm.
And when you do that, you tap into something bigger,
Mm.
a collective strength.
Okay.
It actually makes you more resourceful because you're not just relying on yourself. You're drawing on others' wisdom, their experience. You can lean on their strength when yours feels drained.
You get perspectives you might have missed.
Exactly. You find solutions that were maybe invisible before because you were just too close to the problem. It's really an act of self-preservation and growth.
That flows so well into the next piece, which is internal, often kind of overlooked, but just vital. Self-love.
Foundations.
Yeah. And it's easy to dismiss it as just like pampering, especially when things are tough. We focus on fixing everything out there.
And forget the relationship with ourselves.
Totally. The sources define self-love not as just indulgence, but as really nurturing, honoring, and caring for yourself on a deep personal level. Recognizing your worth, despite the flaws, despite the past. Why is this so foundational?
Because without it, frankly, any external changes you make are built on shaky ground. The sources directly tie self-love to self-acceptance.
Okay.
It means genuinely coming to terms with who you are right now in this moment, not chasing some impossible future version. It's this radical idea that you are enough just as you are right now.
Enough right now. That's powerful.
And again, Muniba Mazari's story is so clarifying here. After her accident, accepting a totally different body, a different life, her self-love became about embracing that new reality, not fighting for what was lost. And that allowed her to build something new, something profound.
And the sources also link self-love strongly to forgiveness, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They say so many people carry around guilt, shame, and regret, but holding on to these feelings only hinders your growth.
So forgiving yourself is.
One of the most powerful acts of self-love. It frees up so much energy that's tied to the past.
That makes sense.
And tied into that is setting healthy boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
This is huge. It's a form of self-respect. It's saying your time, your energy, your emotional well-being, they're valuable. They deserve protection.
So it's proactive self-care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Caring for your physical, mental, emotional health. Making sure you actually have the reserves you need for this rebuilding journey. The sources really present self-love as the foundation upon which everything else is built. It's that internal anchor.
That idea of a stable foundation is so key because rebuilding, it's definitely not a quick fix. It's not a sprint.
Not at all.
Which brings us to patience. And in our world, everything's instant results, instant gratification.
Right. Speed is glorified.
But the sources argue really powerfully that true growth and transformation do not happen overnight. They need patience, perseverance, and a long-term commitment to the process. How is this different from just waiting around?
That's a great question. The sources are clear. Patience isn't just about waiting passively. It's active. It's actively working on yourself, making steady progress, and trusting that the results will come in due time.
Like planting a seed.
Exactly like planting a seed.
Yeah.
You water it, give it light, you trust it's growing, even when you can't see the roots spreading underground just yet. And this whole rebuilding process, it's not linear. There will be setbacks.
No.
It's guaranteed.
Okay.
It involves, reprogramming your mindset, habits, and perspectives. And that just cannot be rushed. Every little step, even the ones that feel tiny, insignificant, they add up, like building new pathways in your brain.
So if setbacks are inevitable, how do we deal with them? How does patience help there?
Well, you stop seeing them as failures in the old sense. They become opportunities for growth.
Hmm.
They're actually where you learn the most about yourself.
Hmm.
The sources advise us to trust the timeline of your life and, crucially, stop comparing your journey to everyone else's. Yours is unique.
Yeah, the comparison trap.
Huge trap. Patience with yourself means giving yourself grace through the ups and the downs, recognizing that the process is just as important as the end result. Patience is called the secret ingredient to lasting transformation because it allows things to really sink in, to integrate deeply.
That makes total sense. And building right on that idea of patient progress, the sources emphasize something really transformative: the power of small steps.
Ah, yes. So important.
We often look for those big, dramatic breakthroughs, right? The aha moment that changes everything instantly.
The quick fix.
Yeah, but the truth, according to the sources, is that true growth happens in the small, everyday steps we take. It advises against waiting for some single moment of greatness. Instead, it's about consistent incremental progress day by day. Why is that so vital for not getting overwhelmed?
Because the sheer scale of rebuilding yourself can feel paralyzing otherwise. If you think about the whole mountain, you might never start climbing. But breaking it down into tiny, manageable actions makes it feel doable, less intimidating. And each of these small victories, as the source calls them, they're worth celebrating,
Even the really small ones.
especially the small ones. Each time you overcome a challenge, no matter how small, you're strengthening your resolve. These little wins, they don't just get a task done. They build momentum. They build your belief in yourself.
Like Muniba Mazari's journey, it was a series of small, hard-won victories.
Exactly. Painstaking physical and emotional victories that compounded over time into this incredible life she built.
It's like the source's analogy. It's like laying bricks to build a house. You don't see the whole house right away.
No, but over time, those bricks will create something solid and lasting. Those consistent small efforts, they're the real architects of change.
Okay.
And these small steps, they also cultivate that sense of progress even when things feel incredibly slow. And they build resilience for when you do hit those setbacks, so you don't just give up. They really are the key to lasting transformation. It's about the sustained effort.
Which leads us to another powerful pivot the sources suggest: changing your mindset about challenges themselves.
The reframe.
Yeah. Instead of instinctively seeing them as just roadblocks, things stopping you, the invitation is to see them as opportunities in disguise.
Which is easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, for sure. The source acknowledges, look, challenges are a part of life. Everyone faces them, no escaping that. The key shift is moving from, why is this happening to me?
Right, the victim stance.
To asking, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this? It's a fundamental shift in perspective.
And it's a reframe that requires embracing discomfort. The sources are pretty blunt. Growth rarely happens in the comfort zone.
True.
Challenges aren't just annoying. They force us to adapt, to think differently, to dig deep and find solutions we didn't even know we had.
Like the source's example, losing a job initially feels awful.
Yeah, devastating, yeah.
But with this mindset, it could become an opportunity to explore a new career path, or maybe finally pursue that thing you've always dreamed of doing. It's about being open to possibilities that were hidden before.
So it's about becoming proactive in the face of difficulty rather than just reactive.
Yeah. Which sounds a lot like what people call a growth mindset.
Exactly. The source explains that people with that growth mindset, they see failure or challenges not as proof they're limited, but as a chance to learn, to improve, to get stronger. The challenge itself becomes an invitation to expand.
Okay, so that leads perfectly into the final piece we need to talk about: failure itself.
Right, and this ties directly into that mindset shift. The sources present a really powerful truth about failure. Failure is not the end. In fact, failure is often the beginning of something greater.
Wow. That's counterintuitive to how we usually think about it.
Totally. Our culture basically screams, avoid failure at all costs. It's seen as this mark of shame.
Yeah, inadequacy.
But the sources urge this radical shift. They say, failure holds valuable lessons that success simply cannot teach us. It's not about the fall itself. It's about how you respond, what you do next.
This is where it gets really interesting for me. The source reminds us that failure is just feedback, not a reflection of our worth.
Just feedback, data.
Right. It's a signal. Maybe adjust your approach, try something different, learn a new skill. And failure also has this weird way of pushing us outside our comfort zones.
Definitely. Where the real learning happens.
It fosters creativity, hones problem-solving skills in ways that just cruising along successfully never could. It builds a much deeper, more resilient foundation, doesn't it?
It really does. Failure, when you approach it with that learning mindset, it teaches resilience, the ability to bounce back. It teaches humility, keeping you grounded, and maybe most importantly, perseverance, the ability to keep going, even when things look bleak.
So the key is using it.
Using it as a tool for improvement. Understanding that every failure is an opportunity to become better, smarter, and more resilient. It becomes a stepping stone, truly, not a dead end.
Wow. We have really covered a lot today. A truly profound deep dive into what it means to rebuild yourself.
It's a big journey.
It is. We started with that powerful idea of taking ownership of your past, seeing it as part of the story, not the whole story, not your destiny.
Acknowledging without defining.
Then that critical, sometimes tough, step of facing reality, accepting where you are now as the starting point.
The necessary foundation.
We looked at the surprising strength in accepting help, realizing vulnerability is actually a superpower,
Yeah, connection is strength.
and the absolute necessity of self-love, nurturing that core relationship with yourself.
The anchor.
Then we talked about the quiet power of patience, knowing real growth takes time,
Trusting the process.
and how breaking huge tasks into small, consistent steps is what actually drives lasting change.
The power of incremental progress.
And finally, those mindset shifts, seeing challenges as opportunities in disguise.
Finding the lesson.
And learning from failure, seeing it not as an end, but as fuel for becoming stronger, wiser, more resilient.
Yeah, all the sources, and especially the insights from Muniba Mazari's experience, they all echo this one central, really empowering truth. You are not defined by what happened to you. You really are the author of your own story. That pen is firmly in your hands. And you possess this incredible, undeniable strength inside you to rebuild, to innovate, to thrive,
Right.
no matter how hard the journey looks right now.
That's such a helpful message. So thinking about all this, knowing that real change happens through those consistent, sometimes imperfect efforts, what single, small, imperfect step can you choose to take today, right now, to actively participate in your own rebuilding journey?